Surplusing those two vehicles.
On surplusing those two vehicles. At our next vehicle auction, as long as I'm within timeline to get it in the sheriff's next auction, I'm going to intend to move. Okay. Mr. Douglas, can you press confirm? Mr. Orrick, can you? Okay. Does anyone wish to change your vote? Seeing none, please show the vote. Motion passed, 15 yes. Thank you. Okay, we have a disposition on a North Massachusetts Avenue property. Lost my notes with it.
Joe brought before us the other night.
Yes.
The Houston property.
Yes.
Did you find out, Joe, if that place had burned?
I've not gotten an answer on it yet. I'll
Okay.
have one at the next meeting.
Okay. Then we'll skip that item and disposition that next month.
311 South Massachusetts, is that right? 311 North Massachusetts.
It's North Massachusetts Avenue. And the next item, I have a resolution authorizing Campbell County to apply for the FY 2015 Federal Historic Preservation Grant Funds up to the amount of $40,000 for a countywide historic architectural survey. I'll entertain a motion. Have a motion, Commissioner Bruce, second, Commissioner Nance. Any discussion?
You said the matching grant.
No, it's not. It's 100% funded grant. Any discussion? Okay, and the resolution number will be 1-2-15. Any other discussion? Seeing none, please vote yes or no. Press confirm. Does anyone wish to change their vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Motion passed, 15 yes. I also have a contract with the Tennessee Department of Health. It's our annual contract that we've vetted with the commission. I'll entertain a motion to approve so I can sign that. Have a motion by Commissioner Bruce, second by Commissioner Nance. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote yes or no. And confirm. Does anyone wish to change the vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Motion passed, 15 yes. We have a contract for consideration that will require us to suspend the rules tonight in order to lease the county industrial building for the purposes of building docks to recover from the storms. I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules.
Chairman.
Go ahead. I'll second.
Make your motion to suspend the rules.
I have a motion to suspend the rules, second by Commissioner Ayers, second by Commissioner Orrick. Any discussion on suspending the rules? Seeing none, please vote yes or no and confirm. Does anyone wish to change a vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Record shows 15 yes, motion passed to suspend the rules. Having gone through the storms that we suffered and seen the damage to our marina industry, we have a contract, I think it's in your packet, for consideration in order to contract with Indian River Marina and allow them to use our building, not requiring the entire square footage, so the rate is a $2,000 rate in order to build enough docks to recover and get back in business.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner
I
Orr,
make a motion that we approve the lease.
I have a motion, Commissioner Orr, second, Commissioner Ayers, Commissioner Nance, discussion.
No, I asked you specifics. You said it's 2,000 per month.
2,000 a month. Commissioner Baird?
This is still month.
It's month to month. Okay.
Everything's in line, if I may, Joe, everything's in line on the contract. I've read over it, but I know you're our attorney.
Yes.
Okay, I did a straw poll with the commission and moved forward without an actual vote. Fully confident that it was the right thing to do and you support it. So, any other discussion?
County's not liable for any maintenance or fee or insurance or anything?
We specified exactly what we're liable for, nothing beyond. Joe, what did?
The county is responsible for the normal maintenance on the building. You would be responsible to repair the heating and air conditioning unit, which is not functioning or almost not functioning. You would not be required to replace the heating and air conditioning unit unless there's going to be a long-term lease. But you have to prove to give the building in a usable condition. And then the normal maintenance and upkeep would be that of the tenant, which would be Indian River Marina Inc.
The leasing is responsible for the insurance.
Their own insurance, yes.
County covers
The
policy.
county would be responsible, just like you are now, for maintaining insurance on the building and your own premises liability. Keeping in mind here that this is only a lease for approximately half of the building, and that there's another thing here that with a provision in the lease that you're going to try to lease the remainder of it to some other tenant or perhaps to this tenant, and that at that point in time there would be an amendment to this lease if Indian River Marina is still there. There would be covenants of cooperation to work together with the new tenant for the parking area and the use of the loading dock, that sort of thing, if and when you find another tenant.
Go back to the insurance, one minute, I'll say that again, how it is.
Okay.
The county's responsible for
The tenant, which would be Indian River Marina, is responsible for the insurance that would be attributable to their own operation. We would not be responsible for providing them with insurance. And likewise, they would not be providing the county with insurance on your own business. If it's just normal hazard loss, then that would be our responsibility. I see this example here.
Yes, you have to have ownership in order to insure something. So I can't insure your building, but I have already insured my building contents, and I have liability insurance, and I have named the county additional insured. So it's.
But we still have our own policy.
Right.
You understand? He's insuring.
It's like an apartment rental.
Right.
Yes. Attributable to their own operation.
My question is, my confusion. Someone's injured on the parking lot over there, one of her employees. Is the county liable for that, or are they?
No, if it's one of her employees, she would be responsible for it.
And I have workers' compensation. And we now have 12 employees working. And we've hired some from Trail Manor, so we're very pleased. Thank you.
It was something right over and said it's an ill wind that doesn't blow somebody good luck.
That's they should go my way.
Well, and the month-to-month scenario allows us to assess if it's an enduring business opportunity. And that would be a good thing if it becomes that way. So, any other discussion? Please press yes or no and confirm. Does anyone wish to change their vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Motion passed, 15 yes. Go to work, Debbie. Ah, that's a rent check. That's nice. Thank you.
Give her the key, Andy.
Okay. I think I've come to the end of my requirements. Andy, did I miss anything?
Yes, we should have been a resolution for the CDBG grant. We talked about it for the additional pumper truck for the county.
Then in the additional items?
That was a workshop.
Did I miss? Hey.
That'll be a zero match for the county to the tire service.
You gonna have that in your packet?
That was handed out.
Handed it out tonight?
I think so, sir.
He handed it out last week, didn't he? Yeah, I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
It was the pumper truck.
Peggy gave it to
The waste station, there, a resolution about the waste station also. There's only 2 items you had left.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Pumper truck and that.
Well, I haven't been able to coordinate the waste station piece, so I'm going to move that to the next workshop. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution supporting the CDBG grant for the pump truck with zero match.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
I have a motion, Commissioner Jennings, second, Commissioner Goins. Any discussion? Please vote yes or no.
You remember what it was for? I can't remember.
$315,000,
It was,
and Camden County's part is 13%, which the volunteer fire department was going to pay that.
What service was it?
that was the Campbell County Rural Fire Service, right? They were going to pay the match out of their,
Camden County Fire Service,
And they had to truck out the,
totaling $47,069.
any further discussion? All right. Please vote yes or no. And confirm. Anyone wish to change the vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Motion passed, 15 yes. Like I said, I'll move that last agenda item to the next workshop for the waste station. Are we bottom up on this sequence? Okay, recognize county commissioners. I think we're bottom up. Commissioner Weldon.
I think the only thing that I really had was to take the vote on whether we would be comfortable with TDOT if they approve the red light at the Davis Chapel intersection there. They had wanted us to take a vote to see, they were going to do the analysis to see if it would meet the criteria for a red light. But they did not want to do that
Without the request.
unless we all voted that it was okay.
Are you making that in form of a motion?
Make that motion.
and I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion to request TDOT evaluate the intersection at Davis Chapel Road and Highway 63.
That we
For-
would be willing to go with their motion if they decided to put a red light there.
That the commission would be willing to support the study and the placement of a red light at that intersection. Any discussion? Commissioner Stanfield.
Just the one that they said if
they would put it up, no charge to the county, if the county maintains it.
If the county maintains it, we are responsible for the maintenance
We
of it.
know how much that's going to cost as far as
I have no idea.
it goes. Probably knows.
It just, as it occurs, Scott, there's no ongoing maintenance on it, so if you have a situation that we have to address, I think we've had one occurrence since I put the one of it, big O's.
What's the electric
Had a
requirement?
sensor fail.
Insignificant.
Also, to reiterate on this, me and my fellow commissioner here, we had also spoken, he's not saying that it will qualify for that. He's more thinking like it's just going to qualify for signage, but he still wants our approval before he even submits the proposal.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I think
Mr.
one
Gibbs?
of the reason being is, of course, we all know the red light there, the traffic light, which has worked out real well up at Big O's. And the state really took a hit from a lot of residents in that area about complaints about before the red light was actually installed, the traffic light. And once it's installed, though, it did real well, and they're pleased, but he just didn't want to, he says before we can go through this project, he just wanted to make sure that the commission's on board and that we are requesting it, not the state, but that we as a commission requesting the traffic light to be there, or analysis of the intersection. Don't know if the traffic light would be the answer, but we just wanted the dangerous intersection, just try to get it looked into.
Okay. Any further discussion? Please vote yes or no and press confirm. Anyone wish to change their vote? Does anyone wish to change their vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Motion passed, 14 yes. Okay. Commissioner Stanfield. Okay. Commissioner Orick.
I had a couple of things. I'll make it brief as possible. The cable committee met. It seems like it's been quite a while back, but they wanted to change the name of the committee from cable committee to communication committee. I'll make that in form of motion that we change that recommendation from that committee.
Okay. I have a motion, and Commissioner Ayers second, to change the committee to communications.
Communication committee.
Okay. Any discussion? Please vote yes or no and press confirm.
Communication. Yeah.
Marie.
Call Brooks. Talk ready. He's lost his remote.
Anyone wish to change the vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Motion passed, 15 yes.
The other two items I had on the agenda, Mayor, it's resolutions. I'd asked for, and I drawed up some resolutions, one for the state of Tennessee, the transportation part. Do you want to read this into the record, or do you want me to read it?
Go ahead.
This resolution is asking, I'll break it down, it's asking for the state to step in and help on the 141 exit and look at it, because we're probably, if we ever get to that mega site point, the exit won't handle it. But it says resolution, and it don't have a number. I've wrote one down, 217 of 2015. But resolution to request the state of Tennessee and Department of Transportation to consider modifying the interchange on I-75 at exit 141. It says, whereas the legislative body of Campbell County, Tennessee recognizes the exit ramp at 141 exit on I-75 and the interchange connecting Campbell County, Tennessee and Scott County, Tennessee via Highway 63 are becoming more congested and dangerous. And whereas the legislative body of Campbell County, Tennessee is intent to help develop the mega site containing thousands of potential acres to help with the economy of Campbell County, Tennessee and surrounding counties along with the great state of Tennessee. And whereas the citizens of Campbell County, Tennessee and the surrounding counties with the great state of Tennessee to help with their livelihood to encourage more industrial jobs in our county, which is in great need. and whereas the visitors traveling I-75 north and south along with the citizens of the state of Tennessee, the safety and well-being, their health and well-being, and now therefore be it requested Board of Commissioners, Campbell County meeting legislative session on the day 17th February 2015. And I make that we pass this resolution and send it to the former people, the right people, the TDOT and our Senator Yeager and Representative Powers. I make that into motion.
Motion and second by Commissioner Douglas. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote yes or no. Press confirm. Does anyone wish to change the vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Motion passed, 15 yes.
The final one, it's a letter of request, and as you all are aware that we set in, well, there was a few of the commissioners that had a time to actually come to the meeting of the industrial board, and this request is actually asking Scott County to participate and solicit the state of Tennessee to help in our endeavors with the mega site. And it says, whereas the legislative body of Campbell County, Tennessee, along with Campbell County Mayor E.L. Morton, requests Scott County to help promote the mega site at the exit 141 off I-75 for help from the great state of Tennessee with upgrading to the exit. Am I reading the same one? I'm not, am I? And also with endeavors to create more industrial jobs to help our citizens jointly. Whereas you are aware of the great need for more jobs in Scott County as well as Campbell County, where both counties will share in the reward of their citizens' jobs. And whereas this property is located in Campbell County, Tennessee, along I-75 at exit 140 interchange, Highway 63, Howard Baker Highway, and this property has very great potential if the appropriate individuals promote it, and therefore it be requested by by the Board of the Campbell County Commissioners of Campbell County, Tennessee, meeting in regular session on this day, 17th February, and that dates will have to change, February 2015. And that's more or less, we're asking them to, when they go to Nashville, to promote it, because it will help them and accumulate jobs also. It's an endeavor that I believe a lot of us have seen over the time that things is going to, other counties going to have to join together to promote more industry. And it's not nothing that we're trying to put Scott County on a plate, but we can actually send this to them. I don't care if they even make a trip and take it to their commission and present it to them. But this, I think, is something that we need to do. And I'll make that in form of a motion. I'll have that in the form of a motion, Mr. Chair.
Motion. Do I hear a second? Mr. Higginbotham, discussion. Just to inform this discussion, since our last workshop, I went to the TVA board meeting in Chattanooga. Megasite is a designation from TVA as the Economic Development Agency. The previous administration had applied for that through the state of Tennessee, and when I took office, the state ECD office called and told us they declined to advance our application on to TVA and felt that we should focus on our smaller parcels that were available. So we took that on face value and said that we're going to promote at the level that we can promote. Then we had a resolution to create an industrial recruitment and retention program by this body. And so I studied the TVA electric generation plan for the next 5 to 8 years and saw that Bull Run Steam Plant is committed to burning coal for that time period. And now we have permits in the county that can produce Stoker coal. The equipment at Bull Run can burn the content that we have. We can blend to it. So my intent to go to that meeting was to let TVA know that we've got people from Tennessee that are going to bid, and that there are 100 cars coming out of Illinois and Kentucky through our county every day to Bull Run Steam Plant. So that was my intent, and it was well received. They video, and you can see it on their website. But the next day, I got a phone call through La Follette Utilities. Said that the TVA economic developers want to come and talk here about expanding in the Eagle Ridge area. So we have that meeting on Wednesday in my office, and we've got the property owners and all the utilities that affect it coming. And this resolution will help to reach across the aisle to the folks in Scott County who for the last 5 years have had the highest unemployment rate of the 95 counties in Tennessee. My point to TVA was that when I drove from Campbell County to Chattanooga, every county that I passed through has announced hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs in the last 2 to 4 years. And even the week when A&S Steel announced their closure, the governor went to Blount County and McMinn County and announced 400 and 350 jobs respectively in those counties. We're the only county that has not had job announcements. And I fully said that we have a responsibility to bring our product forward and fulfill our responsibility, but ask for their help. So that's happening on Wednesday. Commissioner Douglas.
Has anybody from your office been in contact with OSM to see if any of these permits are going to be issued or has been issued?
We have 2 that are issued and active. One's in Westburn and one's on Stinking Creek, to my knowledge. And I know the operators from Westburn were moving equipment in, and they came to my office and said, could you please make TVA know, go represent us and let them know that we can produce the stoker coal that they need at the local plant. And so that's why I went down there to do that. So, and 100 cars a day is roughly
10,000 tons a month.
Right. So if you can count $1 a ton, that's your severance tax coming to educate our children, build our roads. Right. So, and right now your budget shows about $50,000 projected for this FY, of which we have about 4 months left. If we could run coal for about 3 months, it would meet or exceed those resources. So, but that coal discussion generated the discussion about looking at developing industrial properties. So pretty pleased with that result and looking to advance that forward on Wednesday.
Let me say one thing, Mayor, to go back on this. As you're making time in Nashville next week and you meet with the appropriate people, you'll run into some of these individuals and get a change, promote, and I know most of them do, promote it. But also, if you see Scott County Commissioners, and you'll see some of them, is we need to promote it. I mean, that's something that you have to put all the pieces of the puzzle together for this site to happen. And we can actually start it and get it started, and if the interchange is not fixed, that's another problem. So we can be working on different parts of it, but I appreciate your support in this.
Any further discussion? Please vote yes or no. Press confirm. Does anyone wish to change the vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Motion passed, 15 yes.
And one more thing for information purposes, Mayor, TWRA, Dwight Hensley contacted me today. I think he'd also contacted you via email. We've been awarded the grant for the White Bridge Park ramp. So that money, I think you have actually received the
I got the
documentation. So that's in our hands now. So we've gained that grant. So I'll just let you know.
That's a full funded?
No, it's the $25,000 that they're putting toward it.
We have to match.
We've did the match. We've done set the match up. The match has been in place for several years, if I'm not mistaken. It's not an endeavor, and I'm not trying to hold up the meetings, but anytime you deal with TWRA, it's going to happen next year. This has been worked on for 5 years, and we just have to. And when you meet with these people, you'll see them, and you get a chance to meet with them. If you don't, and this is a favorite saying of one of the director, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So the ones down there in Nashville that can drive within 30 minutes, that's why they've got ramps, they've got floating docks, is because they keep hammering on them. And I appreciate it. You know, we voted on this back, I think, 3 months ago, maybe 2 months ago, and it was approved, and we sent it off, and actually it's came back, and Dwight Hensley's been a great help. And it's actually helping the county. We're having the tournament coming up in the spring, and it's going to help the tournament. Not only that, but the fishermen, you know. But keep in mind, anytime you're around these individuals, talk. And they find out who you are. They know my name by first name when I walk in front of them. Some of them takes off running because they know I'm wanting some money. But I try to corner them at least once a year in Nashville, and this is a good opportunity. But keep that in mind. If you see Dwight Hensley or drop him an email, you can get on TWRA. We appreciate him.
Thank you. Commissioner Nance?
Yes, I have two things. Both of them are on Highway 116. I don't, were you going to try to check on that without getting any signs put up to stop trucks from coming up through there and getting stuck in the underpass?
Yes. That was going to be part of what we were going to ask for with the ramp and all that effect.
And the other was for the guardrail at Ridgewood where the accident happened there, in the curve there. It's very dangerous. It's happened more than one time.
Yes. Okay.
And Scott forgot he had something on the agenda. So
Okay.
Did you find out about the staggering of the hours at the convenience center?
I did not. Don here. Don, have we adjusted anything for the commercial?
No, I haven't. With the commercial, it's not just the one working in the office. I'm going to have another operator to keep this commercial up after those hours. Because right now, that fellow's leaving at 4 o'clock. I cannot stagger the equipment operators because I need them there of the morning at 8 because of all the garbage.
What is his hours of operation, Bobby? 8 to what?
8 to 4.
8 to 4?
Yes.
Okay. Then on Saturday?
Not any on Saturday, no.
That was something we was going to address on Saturday. We opened it up at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
We probably need to set an environmental services committee and evaluate that. Commissioner Baird?
If we've got hours, why can't they do that at our, at our time, instead of us just keep adding and adding? Might be a little inconvenience. I mean, we can't just keep adding because of money.
Well, I can set a meeting and we can go from there. Commissioner Colmeyer? Sorry?
Since we're on the sanitation department.
Sure.
Today I went through my garbage way and I was disheartened over at 5th District. The time of the day, someone took a spray can and took a brand new canister, and they look like I don't have them, brand new, and wrote new hours, 9 to 5. Now, if I'd have did that, I'd have been arrested for vandalism. Now, Liz Bundy spent a lot of money putting up new signs and the hours of the day. But that was so disheartening to go in and then no tars here, with spray cans. I hope that ain't everywhere else. But I think that's unprofessional to go in and see.
We couldn't hear you. You were saying something about...
Yeah, I'll tell you. Over at Jellicoe, someone, I'm going to ask you since you're here, someone has took a can of red paint on a brand new canister and wrote new hours, 9 to 5. Looks like a first grader had went over and done it. And you got no tars. That's so unprofessional.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know that, but I will check into it.
That's...
I didn't. That had to be recent.
Right.
So
I thought today, I just thought it was so tacky. But, and one more thing. I got an email. It says, some of you commissioners misunderstood the information that was given to you. You didn't understand what you heard. Well, I don't think I misunderstood. Jeff, you sent me the email. You wasn't here, so someone evidently told you that we felt like the sanitation department was losing money. You said we wasn't. Pardon?
On class 4.
Right. We did not misunderstand what we heard. We heard correctly. So next time send me the email. The one that told you this didn't know what they're talking about. Don't send it and tell us we don't understand nothing up here.
We was told we were buying something at a price and having to pay twice that to get rid of it. That's what I understood. Did anybody else hear that? So I did not misunderstand that. So I was offended that I got an email to tell me, you're ignorant, you didn't know what you heard. So next time, please say, the person that sent it did not give you the correct information. Take the blame where the blame's at.
Can I read it into the record?
Yeah.
Certainly.
To all, it appears there may be some confusion, not that there is, in regards to the fees being charged by the Environmental Services Department for the collection and disposal of Class 4 construction waste materials. As I understand, some members of the County Commission may perceive the county is losing money on the processing of such materials, which appears to be based upon an incorrect understanding of the per ton fee charged to the county by the landfill when such materials are delivered to the landfill in comparison to the per ton fee being charged by the county when the county receives such materials from those parties delivering same into the possession of the county. In an effort to clarify any misunderstandings that might be occurring, the first attachment hereto demonstrates the Environmental Services Department's most recently calculated per ton fee for solid waste disposal as of February 23, 2015, which amounts to $38.91. The second attachment hereto demonstrates the Environmental Services Department calculated per ton fee for solid waste disposal as of June 16, 2011, which amounts to $26. As you can see from the review of these documents, the county has never charged less of a fee to the parties delivering such materials in possession of the county than the tipping fee amount charged by the county by the landfill for disposing of such materials. Lastly, as I understand from information provided by the Assistant Director of Environmental Services, Walt Sutton, the county delivered 20,788 tons of garbage to the landfill during calendar year 2014, with 2,222 tons of these materials relating to Class 4 construction materials, comprised of approximately 10.5% of total tonnage. If you have questions or need additional information regarding this information, please don't hesitate to contact me. Nowhere in there does it say that you did misunderstand or that you didn't understand. It says in there as professional as possible that maybe there's some confusion. It appears there might be, blah, 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 blah. And this email was sent to you pursuant to the request of the county attorney directing me that I need to try to inform the commission, as it appears we were getting emails back and forth from the mayor's office regarding the Class 4 materials and the per ton fee being less than what we need to charge. So, no, sir, there is no way in the world to read that and feel that I have said something.
You didn't say it. You didn't say what we heard. No, I'm talking about you're trying to clarify something when you ain't here. We get emails. I heard this was happening on Monday. I wasn't there, but I'm just saying the information that we got. I agree with what you wrote there. But I'm just saying, we were told that we were paying for shingles. I'm just going to give them numbers, $26 a ton. Then we're selling them or having to pay the landfill $52 a ton to get rid of them. That's what we heard in similar of those numbers. So we was losing money.
Does this information correct that?
It did, but I'm just saying, in there, I don't want you to read it again. But if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I'm just saying, you're sending us an email telling us we may misunderstood what we were told. But I didn't misunderstand.
Okay. Well,
I'm fine.
cordial and professional is the standard, but the substance of the issue.
Yeah.
Cliff, are you satisfied with what you saw? Because you had the question about that.
I'm sorry?
About Class 4 rates and making sure that we were not paying additional to dispose of it.
Well, it's my understanding, that maybe on the tonnage wise, but time we provide the personnel, the wear and tear on the vehicles, the maintenance of the vehicles and things, is that calculated into that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. But for clarity's sake, I think we should seat that committee and evaluate that so that we do understand it. We can't operate at a profit, but there is margin to cover costs built into the formula, and we have to get that, so. Okay.
And any questions we have, if we can go to the director of sanitation, of what he should be the only one answering. From your own mouth.
Repeat that, please.
Any question that comes before the committee needs to be addressed by the director of sanitations. If it's any department head needs to be the one that's answering the questions.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Colmeyer. Commissioner Kitts.
Yes, Mayor, got a couple of items. The first one, I guess, is where I mentioned in the workshop about the high school fishing tournament, the Tennessee TBF. I've been in touch with Mark Gippart, and just want to see if I can get the gracious of the commission to go ahead and stay in contact with him about trying to host the high school fishing tournament on Norris Lake in 2016. It's actually, this year's going to be at Chickamauga, and I also want to make mention that the Campbell County high school fishing team coach, Gabe King, is now, he holds the new state record for largemouth. That he caught it down in Chickamauga about a couple of weeks ago, you might have noticed, but just want to see if I can get the grace of the commission and to go ahead and pursue the tournament. I told you wrong, the national tournament is in May, so the state tournament's in April, so it actually help us out. It won't be interfering with the tourism, so just want to see what...
that is tourism.
Yeah.
Good.
But 200 boats, and I'm thinking that we've got some good teams here in Campbell County, well represented, and a lot of good kids on this team right here, and I think we might have a state champion in the mix here real soon. But I'd like to have it on Norris Lake and see if I could get maybe with you and Andy and still pursue that. And the commission funding between $2,000 and $3,000, but you can get sponsors, and I think I might have a sponsor that will actually foot the bill and just to get him here on Norris Lake. I think it'd be a positive thing for our county, because that's growing sport. So it's growing sports.
Is that in the form of a motion?
In the form of motion, yes.
Okay, have a motion to
go ahead and
support coordination and recruiting for the 2016 April and May
high school state
tournaments. I have a second, Commissioner Ayers. Any discussion? Vote yes or no.
You have one of your high school fishermen, my son, in the road.
Set the hook hard.
I didn't understand it, if I can, just for a second.
Yes, go ahead.
He doesn't really like sports and all this, as far as football, all this. That's a total separate, I guess, little group of kids, but they still need something to do.
Come look at my gill.
Pardon?
Commissioner Goins.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say it. Sorry.
Anyone wish to change their vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Motion passed, 15 yes. Anything else, Commissioner Kitts?
Yes, also, I mentioned in the workshop, and I asked the former commission about the In God We Trust on the front of the courthouse. I talked to Jeff. Is that in the new Justice Center? Was that going to be outside? Or, I mean, I know we got on the inside. One of the residents told me, said they already voted on it, and I said, I don't know.
The only thing, like I told you, we talked on the phone, Dwayne, the only thing that I recall being taken up by the commission, and it was voted on unanimously, Tommy Hatmaker was still in office, and that was to have similar letters like this here behind each of the judges.
Yes.
But no action, to my knowledge, has ever been taken or even discussed about letters on the front of the building.
On outside on the front.
No, it has been.
It has been on the front of the building?
Yes.
Then I stand corrected.
Respect their chef and say yes.
On the front of the building?
Yes. On the
I don't recall that, Trent.
Mary.
Yeah, I can check on it, but to my knowledge, I don't know whether, you have any idea whether that information was ever forwarded on to either the architect or the contractor?
We'll have to pay it.
I don't recall even, I remember the deal about the letters behind them.
Tom, do you remember the date of that resolution so we can look it up?
You watch that on TV, sir.
Within 2 or 3 months of the election.
Was it the same time that you did the one behind the judge's chair, Tom?
I don't remember the judge's chair.
That's what I remember.
The one behind the judge's chair was done within this commission period.
Madam Clerk, could you look up that resolution so we can see what the timeline was? We may have a requirement for a funding mechanism to do that.
Be a change order? No.
Maybe I just spoke earlier, this might not be the last
Thanks, Tom.
Okay.
I think it was the same time that the Mace and Masonics wanted to put the, I think it was brought up at the same time, I may be wrong.
Mayor, did you guys vote on this before the fifth term? I didn't get the vote.
Yeah, we did. We passed sufficient.
Well, I was the one held it up.
I think the motion passed for efficient term.
15 yes, okay.
Yes. We return to the discussion mode. Okay. We can research that and see if we need a resolution.
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Jennings.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that in the future, any change order that comes into the county would have to be approved by this body.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second? Second. Second by Commissioner Baird. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, as we discussed at the FMS meeting, which is what we were talking about earlier, and Joe has to chime in if I get it wrong, through discussions with County Attorney Coker and also with you, it is my understanding that the commission can take that action, and Ralph, we had discussions at FMS meeting, can take that action, Cliff, for any change order wherein the county was the owner, but that they couldn't do that or make it effective upon anybody when the county commission isn't the owner, AKA school board, road superintendent, the individual office holders, if they had a project that was just germane to their individual office space, that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's the exact discussion we had the other night with you. Remember now when I was talking about, wasn't saying that we couldn't do it, but that if in fact it was somebody else that did it, that's what I was saying if I had to sign off on it. If the school board approves it, I have to sign off on it, notwithstanding whatever the viewpoint would be of the county legislative body. That's what I was trying to say. You understand, Cliff, what I'm saying?
I understand, but I disagree with you and the attorney, because if we are to fund the project and we have to approve the money, it should have to come through this board.
You're exactly correct with the following set of circumstances. A department, school system as an example, would not be able to undertake a change order for funds that they do not already have in their possession. So in any situation that I'm describing here, those people would already have to have money within their operational departmental budgets before they went forward. You would be exactly correct if they were having to make a request of this body for additional funds beyond the money already in their possession.
That's true.
Any other discussion?
That's true with office holders also.
That's all, that's exactly.
All of them?
Has to be within their budget.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
I asked Mr. Jennings if I can read what I've got, and I think we need to add a little more to your motion and just us approve it.
You want to amend it? That'd be fine with me.
May I?
Certainly.
Y'all have to agree, okay.
For consideration, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Right now, there's supposed to be a set limit of 25% added onto it. So we need, my motion's going to be make a motion to approve. Only the owner of the project can ask for a change order, okay? With the approval of the mayor and the county commission. And if the mayor disagrees with change order, the county commission must have supermajority of the vote and no percentage to be added to the change order. Now, in other words, we just don't say we're going to do a 10% or 25%. There's no limit that we can go out and make one. It has to be, owner has to ask for it, not the contractor, not the architect. And then it has to be rolled up and come to us with a price before we even vote on if we want to pay it or not. You know, here we've been we've done a change order here, vote to pay for it. I was told that's all we had the approval to do, so we need to change it. Demolish what's going on. Do you understand what I'm saying? And have a...
Well, I understand, but to me, it'd be the same difference if we had to prove them all.
Right. And that we fund. Anyone that we have to give the money for. Is that what you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is before a change order can be issued, they got to come to this body
and
ask for it.
So that's for your consideration. You want to stay with your...
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, I should have included you. I apologize for that. You should certainly be involved in it.
That's fine.
You know.
It's up to him to... I'm just wanting...
I'll accept yours. I have no problem with it.
Okay, so you'll amend the motion to read, to include that language?
You can understand it, yeah.
Commissioner Goins.
What about in case of emergency?
Well, emergencies aren't change orders. We've got...
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily change orders.
Okay.
How many we had in the last 20 years emergency change orders?
A lot of them.
No, that's purchase order.
I can't recall an emergency change.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's just time to tie our hands.
Yeah. Right. So I have a motion to approve all change orders without percentages.
Because that's not what we did tonight, or are we talking about discussion of change orders?
See, one of the things that, and I don't know exactly where, if I may, Mayor, Cliff, what happened tonight was the county commission approving change order number 16 before it could go forward. That's what occurred.
Well,
that, to my knowledge, other than a change order within a project that isn't under the control of the county legislative body, there haven't been any change orders executed on any county project that the commission didn't approve, specifically in any situation where there had to be an additional appropriation associated with it. So I'm not sure. I think your motion's good, and no problem, especially if you can clarify that relative to those projects that you're in control over, then that's fine with me, because you have to do that. That's what we already do, I guess is what I'm saying. And Ralph's deal about there being threshold limitations at any time, the commission, like you just said, up or down, whether it be 1%, 50%, whatever, they're going to vote yes or no, and that's going to end that, whether it be within the threshold or not, because you couldn't change the hands of the commission on an action now that says they could take it up at that time, so it just takes 8 votes to take it up at that time. So from my standpoint, as long as the motion is denoted that it's relative to those projects that where the county is the owner, then you'll be fine. I mean,
okay. Jeff, what I'm trying to do is clarify to myself and let the contractors know that when you bid a job, that's what you're going to get. And if we hire an architect, as long as I'm on here, one of the first questions I'm going to tell him before he accepts his contract, and I want it in the contract, that if something is wrong due to his drawings, he's responsible for it. Okay, same way with a contractor. If somebody Okay, if we put in a water line and they bid it in, lowball it, so they can get it and they know they can put a rock clause in it later. And that's a reputation that we have, and whether it's justified, I don't know. But the reputation that Campbell County has is go ahead and bid it low because they'll let you change it. And I'm trying, in my own heart and mind, to put a stop to that.
Well, one of the things that we discussed at the FMS meeting, Cliff, was, and I'm not sure if it's been here or not, but change order documents. Obviously, the owner is going to have to sign off on them, AKA request them or agree to them. That's part of that process. If you have an error in, let's not say error, let's use the water line as an example. I've never seen a water line project that didn't include a rock clause. And the rock clause will say, as part of the bid, we're going to bid a unit price as part of our bid for hitting rock. And if we get out here on this job, because nobody can see what's on this ground, and we hit rock here, then we're going to have an engineer to document how much rock we hit. And it's going to cost you this much per linear foot of rock that you encounter, or tonnage as the case may be. Most contracts include within them a contingency item as part of the base bid to say, go ahead and put in here so much for the rock clause as an item. But that again will be up to a unit measure. Now, when they run over that many linear feet, pursuant to their contract, the one that they've actually entered with you, then they are due to receive that money for putting that in accordance with the contract, not added to the contract after. Those are in the contract at inception.
I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem with that. We're really beating a dead horse. We got a motion on the floor, and I'm just trying to. When the contractor comes in here, and he or she bids on the project, you know, if we're going to build a building, then that's what you're going to build it for, and you're going to be responsible for building it correctly, you know. And we need to cross our T's and dot our I's, and we don't have this problem. You don't have change orders. I've never had one in 30 years. So I don't understand why we would have so many.
Mr. Bruce.
Like we beat this dead horse. Say, for example, the school system when we build a new school. They come to this body with the bond. So now, my understanding the way you guys explain this, and I'm not going to be wrong, but if the school system wanted to change something, the way it went for the change order, then the way it set up that change order has to be approved by this body. Is that correct?
It would depend. If, in fact, the school system had money in their existing budget to allow them to make appropriations within their existing budget, not come back and ask the legislative body for additional money, then they have the authority, without seeking the permission of the commission, to approve a change order relative to that project. And I do not have the authority not to sign the purchase order / the change order that goes along with that. That's something that we do not have the ability to constrain those folks who do have purchasing authority pursuant to appropriations.
Does this body, if we're building a new school, does this body not, the county, not the school system, but the county owns the building?
No, the Board of Education owns the building.
Construction?
From the land all the way to the sky.
Commissioner Ayers.
So to clarify,
After this vote.
what we're trying to do is say any that the county legislative body must approve all change orders for county-owned projects and other departmental-owned projects if that change order would require additional funding.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is right now?
That's the way it is now, but you're just trying to.
Yeah, that's
Well,
fine.
but here's the catch, okay? You got the votes tonight, and the reason, the council did, the reason they did, they run in here at the last minute, oh, we got to open that jail. We've been ever how many years, because I guarantee you that wouldn't have passed if we'd had more time. Everybody wants the jail open. I don't disagree with that. But this hurry up and we got to have it done tonight I hate that. I mean.
I think that this is a unique situation
Yeah.
in this particular project, but I firmly believe, Cliff, that you would have the same level of discussion relative to any change order brought in here for discussion's sake. Whether it be on the jail or any other item, there will be members who feel there should never be a change order. And there will be others who say, well, I understand why it needs to be, and there'll be all kinds of discussion. And at the end of the day, you just have to sort out and see whether it gets voted up or voted down. And what my role here is, if in fact tonight would have been voted down, I would have said to the contractor and the architect, it got voted down. That's it. They would say, so what do we do next? I say, I don't know what you do next. Now you do whatever you need to do to protect yourself. That's what I would do.
Okay, I got 3 points of order. Commissioner Douglas, then Commissioner Weldon, and then Commissioner Davis.
I just want to clarify, I think I can clarify one thing, or maybe two. But we say, you say that, each department, in other words, are responsible for their own thing. Just like the school board is responsible, they can do anything they take a notion once their budget is passed. But the thing of it is, this county court us county commissioners are responsible for every budget that's passed, regardless of what department it's in. I mean, we are the payees.
I agree with that. And that's the reason that when you make your budget up for those people like the school board, as an example, once you set them on their way with approval of their budget, then they become the administrators of that budget. And if they make good decisions or bad decisions within the framework of those available funds, that should not reflect either positively or negatively on the county commission. The county commission's duty was to establish the threshold limitation of their ability to operate the meeting.
It shouldn't, Jeff, but it does. People that I run into from day to day, they ask me about situations, in each department.
I understand.
But Carl is responsible for voting, for that budget.
And it's just not a fair representation of the public at large back before the commission, because, again, the school board, as Johnny just said a second ago, whether you came in here and voted for it or didn't vote for it, it wouldn't stop the ability for it to go forward.
I agree with that.
Commissioner Weldon?
The issue that I have, I don't mind voting on them, but I don't know what I'm voting on is what I get at. I would like to be in on the discussion of the change order, to know what I'm voting on. Do you know what we voted on, Johnny, honestly? On this, do you know what it is? You know what this says?
Yes.
Did you go through the jail and look at any of that?
No, sir.
That's what I'm getting at.
Lonnie did earlier tonight. Robert said, and I agree with him 100%, and the mayor agreed as well when he commissioned his minutes. Robert's the chairman of the jail committee. What is your best bet? And of course, this isn't going to make everyone whole, but each major activity here has a committee governing, and they're a discretionary committee in that they don't really have any authority to approve or disapprove anything, but they make recommendations to the county legislative body based upon their review. I think that Robert's dead on the money right, that the best way to achieve what you're talking about would be to route the proposed changes, for lack of a better word, or projects, back through the committee that would represent you. And then you have at least some of your own members that you could communicate to, and you would have the opportunity to attend, even the people that's not on the committee, would have the ability to attend the meeting and get briefed. It's not possible for me and EL to brief every member on every issue all the time. It's fluid. But you could have a committee meeting where you call the principals to have the opportunity to attend, the architect and the contractor and the sheriff, and the jail example. They could be there and they could brief you about why the glass needs to be changed. Well, I think earlier in the meeting we had a discussion where I said, we'll bring it all on former sheriff Gary Perkins. No, not all of it's been blamed on Gary Perkins. The only thing I've heard about Gary Perkins at all was he was the person who requested mirrored glass as his original part of the specification. And now the new sheriff, and what we approved tonight, says the mirrored glass don't work well. It will work, it doesn't work well. And it needs to be changed for safety's sake. Well, that sheriff at that time had the opportunity to make that decision. And Rusty was the chairman of the jail committee back then, and he'll tell you, when the specifications were reviewed for the justice center in jail, every person who had anything to do with it, judge, DA, sheriff, clerk, you name it, they were all brought in, met with the architect, met with the contractor wasn't there, met with the architect, and they reviewed the plans and specifications with them and had discussions. Was there something they wanted to change? Was there something they wanted to add? Was there something they had a question about? You guys are just coming in on the tail end of a 4-year process, and it's just tidying up the last few pieces. But that process did unfold just like I described. It wasn't a single person that made any of these decisions.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Last point of order, Commissioner Davis.
I agree the glass needs to be changed. I didn't have a problem with it. It's just the way it went about. But I want to ask you a question. Now, you said that everybody's got to approve the change orders. When we did the rail spur over Jellicoe, okay, I had to make a phone call. I called the mayor's office, and they was looking over the payments for things. And they was just happened. I talked to Andy at the right time, and he goes, well, here's a $56,000 change order for cleaning out the ditch, and it was for the mayor to sign to pay for it. It was never brought before us that you was going to make a $56,000 change order. It got killed. It got killed, but I'm just saying, if I hadn't called that day and brought it to their attention that it's never been brought before us, what you can hit. I mean, go ahead.
All I'm going to say to you, Ralph, is that's a prime example right there where your motion would be effective. In that situation, the mayor was the owner, and the mayor did sign off on that change order.
But we need not just the mayor's approval. If he likes it, that's great. Then he can talk to us and convince. That's why, yeah, but that's why we're wanting to do that.
I understand. All I'm trying to say.
And that will protect this man.
I'll be glad to have the help.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying. That will protect him.
I'm just trying to get clarity that that's a perfect example where it would be applicable, where the owner's representative, the mayor, wouldn't go out on his own by himself, but it wouldn't be impactful on the school department.
That's fine. We understand that.
Okay.
We understand that. We're just trying to stop that stuff.
All right, Commissioner Harris.
I just wanted to say, well, and then I understand and I agree with what we're doing. I think the majority of what is bothering us would be handled in the initial contract portion. That's where we need to dig.
Absolutely. When they come in, they need to know that this ain't going to happen.
Right, that's where it's lacking, is on the front end, where they think they're going to low bid and come back.
I'm pretty satisfied if this commission builds another jail, we'll be on top of it.
Or under it, as the case may be.
Press yes or no and confirm, would you please?
Let's see.
Vote yes. Vote yes.
Okay, clarification?
Let's see.
Point of clarification.
No, that's yours.
Commissioner Ord? Did we read the motion?
I've done voted.
Well, what I've got is any change orders has to be brought before the county commission if additional monies are needed. And they also said the owner needs to ask for the change order.
And that would exclude school board.
No, that needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah, it just should be where the county is the owner of the property. That's all the language needs to be added to that, and you'll be crystal clear.
Okay.
If the commission has to vote to approve the money, we should have a voice in it. That's what we're trying to say.
That's also.
School board or Yahoo, whatever.
You will not have a voice in a school board item after you've already approved their budget.
But when they come back, if they need more money.
Oh, yes.
That's what we're
Right.
trying to get across. If we have to have if anybody has to have our vote for a nickel, we need to know about it.
That would be an additional appropriation.
And you're already there.
Right, we're there. Now we are.
Okay, so
You were already there.
They got me confused now.
please read it again.
Okay. If the county is the owner, any change orders has to be brought before the county commission if additional money is needed.
Correct.
Does anyone wish to change their vote? Okay, could you confirm, please? Does anyone wish to change their vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Motion passed, 15 yes.
Okay, I've got one other thing. I'd like to make a motion, we go ahead and hire a school superintendent tonight. No. I would.
We're laughing, but now it's on the record.
Yeah.
The county commission's hired the school board superintendent.
I withdraw that though,
The
Mayor.
only thing you want to know is, are we breaking the law by not doing it, by putting it off onto the school board? He says the county commission, they're trying to pass the law now, and now I got an email from Nashville, that the county commissioners are responsible for hiring the school board superintendent, but they're trying to pass it to where the school board does it. So,
Joe, I need to lawyer up. Where are we on
I
this?
need to lawyer us up. I don't want to be breaking no laws. I second your motion.
He went through it before you second.
We just wanted you to know we knew about it.
Are we ready to adjourn?
No idea where the authority would have come from that said that this come in and hires this people. No.
I'll bring it to you.
It's the law.
It's in the,
They're trying to change it.
they're trying to
Right
change
now, taking it through the legislature, but that is the law. If they don't change it.
No, it is the law today. They're trying to change it back.
Yeah.
To the school board.
I do want to bring me that, but that's completely different.
Okay, I'll bring it
We'll
to you.
call Mr. Yeager or Mr. Powers. They're working on it hard right now, trying to get it changed.
Call them and let them see you.
If we do, I'd like to subcontract the school board to take that function. Anything else, Commissioner Jennings?
No, sir, thank you. It's been a
Thank you.
great evening.
Commissioner Higginbotham?
No, sir.
Commissioner Goins? Commissioner Douglas? Commissioner Davis?
I won't surprise you. I ain't got nothing.
Commissioner Bruce?
Real quick. I need a head count on how many of y'all will be attending the Boy Scout banquet next Tuesday. I think I'm going to do that. A head count so
I'll drive back for it. I'm committed.
Okay, that's all. I'll say 3. Also,
I do down and backs to Nashville. I don't know that.
hey, they're asking for donations, so please, you have any discretionary money. We would need to appreciate Boy Scout. Also, how many people are going to be here next Monday night for the workshop?
Won't try to be.
I'm going to try to.
Oh, I'll be here.
No, I just want to make sure because, like I said, I was going to.
How many's gonna be gone?
You
That's
won't
that.
have enough.
Huh?
I was going to make a motion that we move the workshop to the 16th and have it at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Yeah. If we ain't got 8 votes, ain't no use meeting.
Yeah, we got 9.
There's 9. But I mean, all 9.
Everybody shows up. When is the 6th?
If they show up.
Mayor's going to Nashville, aren't you?
I'm sorry? But we were leaving after the workshop was what we were going to do, right? That's what we said we were going to do.
Decided no, we're going to leave early with that. If not, we'll be midnight.
While they're on that subject, if anybody's going to cancel, they need to let Peggy know so she can cancel this check that's going to C-Task. If you've decided you're not going and you've made arrangements with Peggy, that she needs to know so she can redo this check or whatever, because it's been wrote for. C-Task is going to get a lot of extra money if you don't tell Peggy.
I won't know until the end of the week, though, it's my problem. What's the last day? I've got a lot of things that's... Don't forget to cancel the rules that are on your back.
I understand.
If somebody cancels, let me know.
Okay. I'm a down and back. I'll be on the hill by 10 a.m. Central and be back by 6:30, 6? 6 o'clock.
I'm not riding with you. 4 and 7 hours.
I've been told no before.
Okay. Anything else, Commissioner Bruce? Okay. Mr. Baird, Charles Baird? Commissioner Ayers?
Manny Road.
I don't know, but I don't want to do that. With all the snow, I'm not sure.
I don't think,
My motion was going to be, because it was going to be before the 911 meeting, that the commission approved naming the road. It's across from the Matty Randolph boat launch. It's a driveway, and they were just calling it Pine Hollow Road. And there's so many houses, it's confusing. So wanted to get approval, make a motion to name that road Matty Lane, M-A-T-T-I-E.
I'll second.
Lane.
but your procedure is normally after the 911.
Well, it'll be subject to it being approved by the 911 board. If they met, we're good, and if they ain't, they meet the...
They've done met. They've done met. It's in here.
But Margaret knows that I was making the motion subject to 911 approval.
Okay, she called me for clarity on that, so you spoken to her after that? She wanted to make sure we weren't approving anything because they hadn't acted.
Right.
Oh.
But that's my question, I guess, to Joe. Can I make the motion?
You can, it's ultimately up to this commission what you want to name any road at any meeting. But
Verified, so
although
any
the
other
typical
roads-
protocol has been to follow their direction, but you can do it anyway.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote yes or no. Confirm.
It's a dead end line.
Anyone wish to change the vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, we shall vote. Motion passed.
The other thing I had was the property that the county owns that we don't intend to hold, that we acquired through delinquent tax sale. Had a gentleman contact us, and he's actually given the mayor, I think, the sealed envelopes. How do we go about it? Do I need to establish the committee and how to do it tonight?
Joe will do that.
I sent you the procedure that you follow to do that. And what we suggested here was that with the delinquent tax sale coming up on May 22nd, if you wait until that sale is over and the order of confirmation, I think from the last sale, becomes final on June the 6th or 7th, somewhere that first couple of weeks. Then you could include the previous year in that sale instead of having two. But the scheduling of that is up to the county mayor's office. And the committee that would be established, Financial Management Committee can act as that committee, or you can have a committee as a whole. You're supposed to try to get the fair market value of the property. You're supposed to try to get the total amount of taxes, penalties, interest, fees, and costs that would have accrued. You can accept bids. It has to be a public process. It cannot be done just by private sale. It's a public process, and then after the bids are received, those are published, and there's an 10-day period within which any person can raise the bid by as much, but it has to be by at least 10%. And then if that happens on a property, then there's a bid off on that particular property. I said to you at the last meeting, and I'll say to you again tonight, based upon what I'm being told, and I'm not an appraiser, but the amount of money that you're looking at here is not going to be very high. The delinquent tax officer, Mr. Winfrey, has looked at these properties, physically seen them on the ground, and I think I'm not exaggerating whenever he says that, at least in his opinion, that $25,000 or $30,000 is probably going to be just about all that you're going to get if you get that. So I wouldn't get too excited about it, but it will get these properties back on the paying tax roll whenever we do this, which is something you need to do. And, you know, a lot of times these properties will be acquired by adjoining landowners. Most people don't let property go for delinquent taxes unless there's something wrong. You know, it does happen, but occasionally, but most don't. So it's my understanding that the mayor wants to do it in June or July, but after the next delinquent tax sale. I said in the email before, if he wants to do it before then, we will, but it will just work better if you wait. If you wait another year.
I guess my thing is, right now, we have a gentleman that's actually interested in some properties that I wouldn't be interested in. So we may not have that in a few months. He has an issue with where he is. He actually needs the land. Just for the island. So he may find something before then and not even be interested. And it says that we shall expedite advantageously as possible to get rid of the property that's on the books. And so I didn't realize that we even had any properties. These could have been sold months ago. So it just says a committee of 4 members shall be elected, or the FMS committee can serve as to place a fair price on the tract of land. And somewhere it says it must be a minimum, the taxes, the interest, and all that. So I don't, what's his This trailer, it's like an exterior trailer, like an open trailer. And where he lives, there's an HOA, and he can't have it. The only reason he's interested is he knows the person that owns the lot next door. There's no road cut in the lot. If you look at your county map, it looks like the road's there. If you go there and look at it, it is not there. So not even just on land with no road to it.
He's provided me with 6 sealed bids on 6 adjacent lots in the Hiawassee development
There's a couple other pieces
above the road and a couple other parcels.
So I would like to make a motion that the current available county-owned properties be expedited to be placed out there to bid. The way I understand it.
Which requires an appointment of committee.
And it can be the FMS committee.
Does it have to be advertised?
There are some requirements specified. I'll entertain it for discussion if I can get a second.
Second.
Have a second.
This is what Joey, somebody did. How do you go about it? And then there's a line, says all bids must receive by the office of county mayor no later than 4:30 p.m. He's to enter time on blank. So you need to set a time, I guess, and publicize this in the paper that these properties are up for sale. Anybody interested, submit the bids to you with these criteria.
Is that lake property?
It's above the road, it's not lakefront.
No, you can't see the lake.
Well, I mean, if you get up the trees.
At the very end of Yoakum Hollow, the Yoakum becomes Hiwassee. But there's a couple other parcels, I didn't bring them all, but I'm saying whatever's on the county road as delinquent tax on property where the right of redemption period is expired. Get some money.
Well, my only question, you'd still have to, wouldn't you, Joe? If he bid it in, they'd still have a...
He bids it, we have to send notice for X amount of days, and we have to wait until somebody offers 10% or greater on the increase.
Or somebody, yeah, somebody could raise it.
10-day raise period.
Yes.
So you have 10 days.
Then if anybody raises it in that period, then you set a day and a time with those people that's made the bids or raised it. Those are the only ones eligible to bid on it then.
Commissioner Goins?
That's only. His taxes back paid on it.
It had to be 3 years delinquent, didn't it, to be sold?
At least 3. Commissioner Davis?
Well, they'll advertise the properties that's going to be bidded on, they send a sealed bid, set a date, and then after that, you'll have them, you'll open them.
I've got the bids now, but we don't have the committee. We gotta go back and advertise it.
And advertise it.
I'm,
I like this.
the return on the investment to take on another project is, when we know we're gonna have a sale in June.
Well, if you sell what you have now, then you'd only have one year to sell again in June. So you'd have, you'd have less expense involved if you wait until June.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to wait until June, we can sell them now, whatever you want to do. We're ready. That's something that we talked about.
April, May.
The clerk and master run that auction process?
You're the one that's in charge of that. And we'll, these bids are subject to being accepted, just because a bid is made doesn't mean that it's accepted. You may get only one bid, and it may be something you don't want to accept. But it's a public process, and you have to give public notice of the sale, what the high bid is, and then there's a 10-day raise period.
Okay.
And in the end, you may or may not accept the bid.
I got a motion and a second. To the pleasure of the court.
And that's this process. There's a process that has to go through, a public notice process, no matter whether it's a delinquent tax sale or not. I mean, any property that's owned by the county, I can think of one property here 2 or 3 years ago that was out of Jacksonville Station that, for example, it cost as much to have the sale as it realized. I remember one gentleman who is here in this courtroom tonight that I think paid $500 for a little strip of property that joined property that he already owned. And the expense of that sale maybe was not worthwhile from a profit standpoint, but it put the property back on the books where taxes are now being paid on it, and maybe enhanced the value of what he already owned. So there's more than one reason that you want to do this other than just generate tax. It does put property back on the tax roll, and sometimes it enhances adjoining property.
He also indicated that his daughter, somebody, he living down here, and he would like to go home. So you can't wait until midsummer or even start building. He's wanting to do something. I don't know.
They got a year to come back and pay the tax.
What would be the expense other than advertising in your paper?
That's basically what you're looking at on this particular site.
It says to do it at a fair market value. According to the estimate,
Well, yeah, it says what the value is.
but I'm saying let them do it and take into consideration the cost of the press or whatever. Divide it by the number of properties. Don't go in the hole.
He'd have a year anyway, wouldn't he?
No, I think it's something we can. I'm still remember that committee who might be a real estate agent, you could have a better idea of what it was worth. There's no reason why you couldn't do that.
Okay, are you amending your motion to reflect, you'd like the FMS committee to take it?
Like for that finance committee to establish the fair price. Because that's what you cleared out there at, or except for this, and go through the process. I can email this, it's too long to read.
Okay. Now have a second, still stand? That the FMS committee takes it?
Is that going to be the fastest process?
You got to have a committee.
Okay, whatever she needs done.
But then let the FMS decide the fair price, so take whatever the price is going to cost. If we got 10 properties, I can,
Any other discussion? Press yes or no. Confirm, please. Does anyone wish to change the vote? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please show the vote. Motion passed, 15 yes. Does that complete your agenda? This meeting is followed by an EMS committee meeting. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn, second. All in favor say aye. You're adjourned.